Coach, you put yourself in a position to win at the end of the game. What's the biggest takeaway from tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this was a great matchup. This was two really good teams going at it, and it's exciting. I think that the production of both teams, that we were able to score a bit today, which was nice. We got to defend a little better in the first half, but a really good test and a good battle for our players. And we try and get to winning time, and we got to that time where the game was possible for us to take, and that's what you can ask. There's a really good team. They played well.
259 points scored tonight. When's the last time you've seen that?
I looked at the scoreboard or looked at the stat sheet after and was pretty amazed at the point production. We shot the ball well, which is nice. So did they. We got to do a better job stopping them. But nice to see the ball go through the hoop a few times.
Not the result you wanted, but Chris Boucher's performance tonight was incredible. Thoughts on him and where he is as a player right now?
Yeah, continued growth. I think he's learning to play with foul trouble a little bit. Today he was even out of his regular rotation because of his foul trouble early, but he was able to come back and sort of combat that. He's a talent. I mean, we've known that for the course of the season, and he showed it today with his points. But for me, it's his growth in terms of finding ways to win games, and he made some really key decisions down the stretch. His screening's got to improve, but I'm again pleasantly surprised with how he's growing each and every game.
Coach, Chris Boucher played the entire fourth quarter. What prompted you to play him? You weren't scared that he would get tired or anything?
Yeah, I mean, again, the rotations were a little funny today because of foul trouble early, and he had it rolling. And sometimes when the player has it rolling, you got to go with him for a while. And I was hoping he'd survive through to the end, and he did. I think his conditioning's there. He gets banged around. That's a big, aggressive, physical team, and he sort of hung with them for an entire quarter. So that was good on him.
Hey, Coach, his growth. So 3-point shooting, had 3 or 4 threes today. How many blocks? 8 or 9 blocks. Talk about his all-around game, shooting the ball and even just blocking shots. Chris, yeah.
I mean, I think what he does, in the first half he had 5 blocks early in the game. He was kind of keeping us in it just with his rim protection. His length is pretty tremendous, right? And his ability to score up at the hoop, keeping the ball above the defense is really, really high level also. But again, it's the little things he's got to keep working on, right? He is a good player, but it's what do you do next? What do you do next? What do you do next? And for me, it's the little things. Scoring, we know he can do now, but can he do the little things in his screening, in his rolling, and getting other people open and continue to be a leader for this team? That's where he's got to keep growing.
In prior games, effort early on seemed to be an issue. It never seemed to be that way, but the Blue kept on executing their offense. 76 points in the paint. I know it's a 3-point shooting, G League and NBA now. Did you struggle to find a balance with how to guard that pick and roll, whether to protect the paint or to get out on 3-point shooters? Was there an issue trying to balance those two out tonight?
Yeah, a really talented team because they can do both. Alford is an exceptional shooter, so you've got to be alert to the 3-point shot. Him and their players are really, really good at the 3, but they also roll really effectively. And I was really impressed with their speed that they rolled with. We made an adjustment at halftime, and it helped us a little bit. I think the first half they played with more force than we did. The second half I think we did play with more force, but it was too much of a margin to catch up on. And you make small adjustments to a good executing team. They're really well coached, that team, and they run their stuff really well, and they have weapons attacking you downhill and space out for threes, so you have to find the right coverage. And I thought we played with it a little bit and found something we liked down the stretch.
The team was on a 7-game win streak, had to constantly come back in order to take victories. Is this a decent, humbling sort of message that to be able to play with the league would be such a benefit for you guys, and you guys don't seem to do it early on? Is that a message that they might take going forward?
Yeah, the message for the team out of this is we got to rebound. They out-rebounded us, and when two good teams play, the team that works harder and the team that rebounds will typically win the game. And they out-rebounded us. I think they're plus 15, and how many offense rebounds they had? Way too many. So that, to me, that's the message. It's about rebounding, play with more force and physicality at the rim and in the paint, protecting the ball.
Jordan and Chris, they were relied on so much tonight, as they usually are. Great players, but is it concerning in games like this where they're scoring 79 out of 133 points or so? 126, sorry?
Yeah, you look at the other team had pretty balanced attack. Their whole bench, the whole team played in double figures for them, and pretty well balanced. We have some weapons, and we're going to go to those weapons when they're hot. And I think Chris and Jordan were that today. And we've had other games when Deng has stepped up, when Rodney Pryor stepped up. So different games dictate different things. But the goal is to get as many players playing well as possible. But on a special night like this, if Chris has it going, you got to kind of ride the hot hand.